417 near Lake Nona, and you can see the gray skies, the wet roads, and all those raindrops covering our camera for you on this Friday afternoon. Meteorologist Jonathan Kagas joins us now to track what's going on and where this is all headed. Jonathan?
Yeah, it's all heading from east to west tonight. We were talking about the different storm motion, weak tropical wave crossing the Florida Peninsula, helping to fire all this up in kind of a weird fashion, at least, with the storms being everywhere rather than one elongated line on both sides of the state. Nasty thunderstorm here just inside our Titusville and Rockledge. To take you a little closer here, lots of lightning strikes as these guys kind of meander around Dr. Phillips. We have some heavy rain just towards our south. This is meandering around Kissimmee back into St. Cloud as well. Lake Mary early heads up. We have some thunder just to the east of Sanford. All of this is trying to work back towards the west tonight. Asatula, we are seeing some of that heavy rain. Will take you closer and you see the lightning strikes around Asatula. All of this is south of Eustis and Umatilla right now. We do have some downpours in the next 30 to 45 minutes that will be knocking on the door for us in Eustis and into Mount Dora. Bushnell, we are dry right now. We have some thunderstorms in parts of southern Sumter County, pretty much taking 50 right across towards the I-75 corridor tonight. So thunderstorms and downpours are prolific. This is just the start of what is likely going to be an unsettled weekend for a lot of us, the last full weekend for the kids before they head back to school. We'll take you through it hour by hour and talk about those storms for your weekend coming up at about 4:17.
Jonathan, thank you. Now is a great time to make sure to download our News 6 weather app. Our hurricane app is built right in. It will send personalized weather alerts and gives you access to our radar. Just search WKMG in your app store. Following some breaking news, famed Apollo astronaut James Lovell has died. He was the commander of Apollo 13. He is credited with turning the failed moon mission into a triumph of on-the-fly, can-do engineering that got his crew safely back to Earth. Tom Hanks later played him in a movie about the mission. On Apollo 8, Lovell was on the first crew to fly around the moon. James Lovell was 97 years old. Also breaking at 4, an evacuation order has just gone out for thousands of people living in the mountains north of Los Angeles. The Oak Canyon fire has already burned 4,800 acres. Several structures have burned, but thankfully there are no reports of injuries. Closer to home, an update on the search for a missing teenager. Investigators now think he never even made it to Brevard County. Brevard County community correspondent from the sheriff's office.
Sheriff Wayne Ivey actually called me before this press conference, and he said he wanted to address the criticism his sheriff's office is facing from some people. Those in Giovanni Pelletier's family who've told me they'd like to see more in a search effort from authorities. What have you heard from the authorities to this point?
We haven't really heard much.
The sheriff says what it all boils down to is it's not their case, it's Charlotte County's.
No evidence, no indication in any capacity that Giovanni Pelletier ever came to Brevard County.
I reached out to Charlotte County this week after my initial story on Monday, and they told me they would not be doing any interviews.
We were reached out for by the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, asked to go interview the 3 young men that were over in their county that had picked Giovanni up. We've also recovered the actual vehicle that was that the boys were driving. There was no evidence of any type of wrongdoing.
Even if there is no foul play, how can someone disappear? Is there any explanation for that in this day and age with technology?
I mean, obviously, you know, there's certainly great concern for this young man's safety, especially as time goes on. To just, you know, not know where he's at this point, hopefully some type of evidence is going to lead us to that point.
Sheriff Ivey also said there was no truth to a rumor that led Giovanni's family and volunteers to search Hammock Road in Mims.
Information started to spread on social media, misinformation, I should say.
If you'd like to watch the sheriff's full press conference, we have all of that for you on clickorlando.com. In Brevard County, I'm your community correspondent, James Sparvero.
We're learning a suspicious package sent to a home in Orange County that prompted a hazmat response is the same home at the center of a controversial viral video on TikTok. And this happened at a home on Aberton Court in the South Chase area. That's near Hunters Creek. We brought this to you as breaking news yesterday. One person was taken to the hospital. People from the home were the subjects of a TikTok video that went viral last week. It showed 2 people yelling racial slurs at a black man. We tried to speak with someone at the house last night, but they declined to comment. The first day of the school year is on Monday for most students in Central Florida, and in Orange County, they are seeing rapid changes and a drop in enrollment. News 6's Mark Lehman spoke with school leaders about how this year will be unlike any before.
Orange County school leaders meeting here at Dr. Phillips High School, where they say they're prepared for a busy start to the school year on Monday. It's happening as the district is celebrating a lot of accomplishments, but is also facing changes and challenges. As today's back to school news conference got underway, OCPS says they're going into a second straight school year listed as an A-rated district. This comes as Orange County is seeing more than 3,000 fewer students this year. A factor in that is families moving to private education through Florida's school voucher program. That enrollment drop has led to a $27 million reduction in funding, which prompted the district to put a 4-year pause on new school construction. OCPS also hired a recruitment firm to try and bring families back to the district. Today, I asked the superintendent for an update on those efforts.
We have some very preliminary numbers that indicate that we have recouped families that had left OCPS. We are going to have actual numbers by the end of the first 2 weeks when we confirm after the 10-day count. But right now, it looks like we've recouped a couple of hundred families to come back.
OCPS is also rolling out a few new communication apps, including one called Safer Watch, which allows school employees to call for a medical emergency or initiate a lockdown by the touch of a button. Of course, safety is the top priority, and with that, drivers are urged to slow down and be alert on Monday as students are heading back to school. In Orange County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Mark, thank you. Just when you thought things could not get more expensive, a local county is eyeing a 5-cent hike to its gas tax. As News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez explains, right now, 33 of Florida's 67 counties charge the maximum amount in tax for gas, and soon Seminole County could become number 34.
If you fuel up here in Seminole County, you're currently spending 7 cents in taxes per gallon, but a trip to the gas station could soon cost you more as county leaders consider raising the gas tax by 5 cents.
With gas hovering around $3.15 a gallon, some drivers have learned to live with the cost.
Well, this time around was $35, but it's usually $35 to $40. That's just for half a tank. So it's usually an $80 or $90 fill-up if I need to.
While others have tried to find a workaround.
I travel a long way to my job, back and forth, so that's why I got a car that has really good gas mileage.
Now that MPG could get put to the test, with Seminole County considering a 5-cent gas tax increase.
Well, I already think taxes are too high how it is, and gas is essential to, for everyone getting around. So if we got to pay more in gas, it's just going to hit everyone's pockets harder and cause more economic issues.
I wish they wouldn't do it because it hurts everybody, but it is what it is.
While Seminole could hit 12 cents, its neighbor, Orange County, is still at 6. For those that live near the county line, making a trip could save a few cents, but Nathan Hoover says he'd just have to pay the increase.
I mean, yeah, this is right up the street from my apartment, so it makes it easy just to come here, and it's a great, easiest place to stop on the way to work to get fuel, but, it's hard to go out of my way, too, because of the fuel economy this thing gets.
The tax increase will pay for transportation improvements and mass transit.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. There's definitely some roads around here that could use it.
The board will vote on increasing the gas tax on Tuesday. If it passes, it'll go into effect on January 1st of 2026. Reporting in Seminole County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
After several delays, we may finally see 3 astronauts and a cosmonaut leaving the International Space Station. Crew 10 was scheduled to undock from the ISS on Wednesday, but their departure was called off because of high wind in the splashdown zones off the California coast. NASA and SpaceX are now targeting this evening, just after 6, for the undocking. If it happens on time, the crew would splash down tomorrow at around 11:30 in the morning. Well, it all comes down to this. The Lake Mary All-Stars must win today to stay in the Little League Softball World Series. Their game against Tulsa, Oklahoma is just getting underway. It is a rematch of Monday's game that Tulsa won 2-1. If the Lake Mary All-Stars win this game, they will advance to the semifinals. Sports director Jimmy Say spoke with them yesterday after their batting practice.
how does it feel to make it to this point, what you guys have been able to do in the last couple of games?
It feels nice because even when we're down, I can still trust in my team to still have the courage to fight back. Like, for example, yesterday. I know my team had a lot of confidence in me, personally, because they always tell me that they believe in me, and our whole team just believes in each other. What's special about us is how close we've come in a short amount of time, and the unity we all have together.
News 6 is at the Little League World Series. Nathaniel Rivas is in Greenville, North Carolina, covering all of the action. He'll have updates tonight here on News 6 and cliporlando.com. Now to the changes coming to one local park. We've noticed a popular oak tree has mostly been removed. We're taking a look at the work that is underway. That's coming up.
Volusia County is moving forward with the 350-acre motocross park. I'm Molly Reed. Coming up, I'm going to tell you what's next for this project and why the county says it'll need help running it.
You're watching News 6 at 4. We'll be right back as we take another live look at the 417 near Lake Nona tonight. We'll be right back.
News 6 Insider is sponsored by Orange County Library System.
We could be getting a new motocross facility here in Central Florida. Leaders gave the green light for it to be at the site of State Road 44. It would include tracks, RV parking, and an event space. But the project has some major pushback. Your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed explains.
Volusia County decided it's going to need help with this motocross park. It's now looking for a partner for this facility off of 44, hoping it'll help with the operational costs.
Everybody is moving this way, and Claremont, Orlando, you have a lot of pros that live out there, and the facilities are here. So we are like a new hub of motocross.
JC Figueredo says right now motocross families in Volusia have to drive all over the state to ride or create small parks in their own backyards like he did.
It's much needed, an outdoor recreation sports area like this. A lot of other cities and counties have things like it. There's not a lot where county or government gets involved in that type of business.
While he says it's needed here, he has hesitations about how it's being created. Residents voiced concern to the county council this week about the county buying the land and paying for the project at all. The county council has set aside $3.5 million in ECHO funds for it.
What I am opposed to is a publicly funded motocross track.
What it looks like to me is it's a guaranteed liability for taxpayers.
Others also argue this is a major wildlife corridor and worry it could be harmful. Right now, the overall cost and a timeline for the project are not set in stone. The county council decided this week to hire a consultant to find that company for the public-private partnership to run the motocross park.
And this is not like some novel idea that I have. They're already doing this in Polk County. In South Florida, several counties have it. Croom is a state park. Ocala has an area.
Councilman Don Dempsey brought the idea for the motocross park to the table originally.
I don't think it should come out of general funds, but the taxpayers voted over 20 some years ago for ECHO. And ECHO, part of ECHO, the O in ECHO is outdoor recreational activities.
And the consultant is expected to present financial options and partnership models to the council by December. I'm your Volusia County Community Correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
Molly, thank you. Well, if you had plans to be outside right now, probably not the best time. I know a lot of people are trying to squeeze in all sorts of stuff before the kids head back to school on Monday, but it's looking a little nasty out there right now, Jonathan.
It is a little dicey. The good news is it's not just complete washout for everybody, so there are dry pockets in here. So it's we're playing dodgeball with the weather this weekend. That's how I like to call it, because we're not going to be raining the entire time. Not everybody is going to get wet, but there's going to be a lot of thunderstorms like you see right here. And to track those, to stay ahead of those storms coming your way, you get lightning detection. Download that free News 6 weather app. That'll help you guide you through the weekend as well, plus the forecast from us. Some nasty thunderstorms. Nothing severe out there, but a lot of lightning sliding up right over the Orlando International Airport right now. That is going to continue to work towards the Orlando metro area. We have some thunderstorms we were tracking for you in Mount Dora, into Umatilla and Eustis. Those are closing in, as we talked about 15 minutes ago. Some bigger activity closer to the Gulf Coast tonight. Then we also have some thunderstorms trying to refire up right around Titusville, Mims, Scottsmore. Some more thunderstorms working towards Deer Park, Holopaw, and Harmony tonight as we continue to track these the rest of the weekend. The reason for the unsettled weather, you see that line right there, that's a trough of low pressure. It's a tropical wave that has found itself over Florida, and that's going to continue to keep our breeze off the Atlantic and continue to pull in tropical moisture for us really over the next couple of days. So we're going to be in and out of this kind of pattern through at least Sunday, if not even into Monday as well. Here we go, 7 o'clock tonight. You see the scattered thunderstorms continue to work their way from the I-95 corridor and west. They will be on a weakening trend after about 7 to 8 o'clock, so we'll be watching things fizzle out. But again, keep the umbrella handy if you are starting the weekend tonight, going out for dinner or anything like that. 6, 7 o'clock on your Saturday morning. I do think, by and large, most of us are dry, may have a stray opportunity for a downpour sneaking on shore. You see the bigger activity out at sea. And then once we get to lunchtime, we'll start looking for a few of these guys to start bubbling back up again and then really taking shape as we move into the afternoon. That's 5 to 6 o'clock, and then expanding in coverage as we move into the early stages of the evening. So again, not a total loss, but you're going to have to do some dodging. Here's a live look outside in Daytona Beach right now. Some of the lowering clouds out there. Temperatures back into the mid-80s. The breeze out of the east-northeast at about 15 miles an hour. Because of the rain, we've cooled down at the airport. 79 degrees in Orlando, 91 in Kissimmee. Good evening in Leesburg. We are at 80 degrees. Now here's a look at tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Renewal by Anderson.
Rain chances up to 80%. Again, don't let that scare you that your entire plan, if you do have plans outside, going to be ruined. Again, the free News 6 weather app help guide you through in between some thunderstorms. If you're moving about Central Florida this weekend, 91 in Leesburg, we're back to 89 in Titusville, the extra clouds. and the thunderstorms around going to keep things, relatively speaking, on the cooler side. But again, it's as this tropical wave moves over the Florida Peninsula, it's going to keep the atmosphere juiced with all that moisture and continue to bring in those downpours off of the Atlantic, really through about Sunday into early Monday. Tropics bark worse than its bite. It's just the buzz out there. Again, nothing, this system off the eastern seaboard, 10% shot, it's losing steam out there. And the wave that got all the buzz on social media, look at this. Development chances continue to drop. Again, don't trust everything you see out there, especially as we go over the next couple of weeks. The Atlantic, while there's waves rolling off of Africa like crazy, it's just not ready to support them at this time. We're going to have much more on the tropics coming up at about 4:47. 93 on Sunday. Rain chances back up to 80% as well. We'll dip a little bit through the first week of school, Lisa.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, it is the end of an era at a local park.
They did everything they could to keep it. That's why I'm shocked that they're taking it away.
The iconic oak tree was just removed as city leaders work to make changes at Albert Park. That's next as we take a live look at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope cam. You're watching News 6. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Light Orlando, delivering hope together.
An update now to a story we first brought you in June. Big changes are coming to some green spaces in Orlando's College Park neighborhood, including the removal of an iconic oak tree in Albert Park. So this is what the park looked like back in June. In 2020, that tree fell during a storm, and since then, it has become a popular spot for photographers and people in College Park. Well, this is what it looks like today. Orlando city officials say it's all part of a plan to make the space more user-friendly. The white gazebo will also be removed. Going in its place, a new pavilion with a stage, additional seating, updated lighting, and landscaping, including several new trees. People we spoke with were surprised to hear about these changes.
I'm so sad. This is like an icon in College Park. Our family loves coming here. We've done family picnics. We've created a lot of memories here. They did everything they could to keep it. That's why I'm shocked that they're taking it away.
The city says it is working to keep the legacy of the old oak tree alive, saying they have 100 Albert Park oak seedlings grown from its acorns. The plan is to distribute the seedlings at a ribbon-cutting event when the park is reopened. Investigators say since July, they've arrested more than 500 drivers going 50 plus over the speed limit or over 100 miles per hour.
New dash camera video shows another driver arrested under Florida's new super speeder law. We'll show you the moment. This man told the trooper who pulled him over he thought he was racing him.
I'm Laverne McGee, your St. Cloud community correspondent. People in this neighborhood have been contacting me about power bumps. We came and talked to one homeowner and helped him get results.
Welcome back. We are following several top stories right now. An update on the search for a missing teen. The Brevard County Sheriff says there is no evidence or indication that Giovanni Pelletier ever made it to the county. The sheriff says social media rumors that pointed investigators to Mims were not credible. 33 of Florida's 67 counties charge the maximum amount in tax for gas, and soon Seminole County could become number 34. The 5-cent tax increase would pay for transportation improvements and mass transit. The board will vote on the measure on Tuesday. A new motocross facility is coming to State Road 44 in Volusia County. The plan includes tracks, RV parking, and an event space. This week, the Volusia County Council voted to hire a consultant to find a company to run the facility in a public-private partnership. And we are keeping a close eye on the weather this Friday afternoon as we take a live look at Mount Dora, looking gloomy and rainy out there as well. Meteorologist Jonathan Kagas joins us now with what we need to know as we try to head into the weekend. Jonathan?
Yeah, a lot of healthy thunderstorms out there tonight, including the one over Mount Dora right now. I was tracking that one before it got there for Eustis, Umatilla, and Mount Dora. There it is right now. Pumping up a little bit, too. It's getting the lightning strikes back with it. You see just a few here indicating on the lightning detection system sliding into Eustis. Mount Dora, of course, you saw the live look there. We are getting involved on that storm as well. This is coming out of Sorrento. Sorry for that map jump there. That's going to continue to work towards Leesburg and likely getting a little stronger. Again, nothing severe out there right now, just some really heavy rain and a lot of lightning and thunder. We also have one passing just to the south of us in Bushnell, Lake Panasoffkee as well. This is going to try to lift up closer to us in Bushnell. I'll be watching that one for you closely. Another beefy thunderstorm here working out of the Orlando International Airport area, sliding into Dr. Phillips, Oak Ridge, eventually into the downtown Orlando metro area. Backing this up for you into Titusville. We're watching those thunderstorms kind of come together. Also some nasty stuff for us around Holopah, Deer Park this evening. This one's going to continue to lift its way to the north, lightening up a little bit in Deer Park, but that's also eventually going to make it towards the Hunters Creek area into eastern Orange County. I'm tracking that one for you as well. Coming up in about 17 minutes, I'm going to show you future radar, and then we're going to take a deep dive into the long-range tropics for you. There's a lot of buzz on social media. We're going to squander some of that at about 4:47.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. We have seen a lot of storms lately. Check out this lightning video that a viewer sent us on clickorlando.com/pins. It's at Patrick Space Force Base. And for one neighborhood in a different county, the power goes out whenever there is rain, thunder, lightning, even sunshine. So it's happening in the Gramercy Farms neighborhood in St. Cloud. That's right off US 192. Neighbors reached out to your Osceola County community correspondent Laverne McGee. She helped them get some answers.
We're talking a rolling blackout, like 15 seconds at a time. Everything in your house goes on, everything goes off.
Kenny Boucher works from home, which means having reliable power is essential for his business, Next Level Painting. But lately, he and his neighbors in St. Cloud's Gramercy Farms neighborhood have been dealing with intermittent power outages, rain or shine, day and night.
Everyone was having the same experience. You're sitting there having dinner with your family, power's out, everything's off. Got to turn it back on, AC, everything reset, which is super disruptive.
OUC is the electric provider. The utility told us in part, OUC has noted this issue for the area and is investigating. Momentary outages occur more often in summer due to lightning, storms, or wildlife. If a tree branch or a squirrel contact an above-ground power line, OUC system automatically senses it and briefly opens the line. These types of momentary outages are an important tool in keeping OUC's electrical system up and running.
Yeah, you know, my power's been going out.
We were there when Kenny got the call from OUC to start the investigation.
That's the most progress I've made with a utility in the history of my life. I'm 43.
We're trying to get results for you.
Thank you, you did.
OUC assured us it will give us an update as soon as it can pinpoint the problem for the folks here dealing with an on-again, off-again situation. In St. Cloud, your Osceola County community correspondent, Laverne McGee, News 6.
So how can News 6 get results for you? Just head to the News 6 app or clickorlando.com and click Contact Us and let us know how we can help. This morning, the Department of Homeland Security shared just how many applications have been filed to fill ICE positions.
Part of the big, beautiful bill that President Trump advocated for allocated to us the resources to hire 10,000 new ICE officers. We have had that open for less than a week, and we have over 80,000 applicants for those jobs.
Local law enforcement and state officials here in Florida have been raising concerns about the feds trying to recruit local police officers and deputies for the newly expanded Immigration Enforcement Division.
There's more to policing than immigration. You know, there's school safety, there's violent crime, there's traffic, there's drug dealing. By doing this, you're weakening the core mission of municipal, county, and state law enforcement.
Why not recruit additional people to be supplementing that instead of just kind of displacing?
The federal agency is specifically looking for people with either current or former law enforcement or military experience. This afternoon, we are hearing from the family of the man accused of shooting and hurting 5 soldiers at Fort Stewart in Georgia on Wednesday. His uncle says he is still in shock. He talked with reporter Chris Porter about it.
I just want y'all to know that I love y'all, and I try my hardest to be the best I could be. My time is slowly coming to an end. I choose my destiny and my faith. I might not be with my mama, but I'm gonna be in a better place. That was at 10:30. The first shooting happened at 10:50. I couldn't believe it. That's not the Quan that me and my brother and my mother and the rest of my family grew up and raised.
To your knowledge, did he have any health issues, mental health issues, depression? Was he battling any of that?
Yes, he was suffering from the death of his mother when he was 8 years old. That could have played parts. Then he losing his sister like 2 or 3 years ago in a car accident. And also losing my father, that was like a father figure to him.
Were there any warning signs?
Never. He was the Quan with the smile, helped us out, helped me and my wife take care of the kids.
So would it be fair to say you spent a lot of time asking why?
Ever since I seen it on news, I'm still asking myself why. I was just I'm one phone call away.
For those family members whose loved ones were actually shot on Wednesday morning, what do you want to say not only to their family members, but also to the victims?
I'm just sorry, you know what I'm saying? I wish I could have talked to him and I could have helped him, and this could have been avoided. I'm deeply, deeply sorry.
That was Chris Porter reporting from Jacksonville. Radford is currently in jail. The Army Criminal Investigation Division is investigating the shooting. Construction is getting started on a new interchange on I-95 in Volusia County. The 74-acre project will build an interchange between Port Orange and New Smyrna Beach at Pioneer Trail. Right now, Pioneer Trail just has an overpass. FDOT says the new interchange will help relieve traffic at Dunlawton and Little Avenues, and it will better serve drivers during hurricane evacuations. The project includes widening Pioneer Trail to 4 lanes from Williamson Boulevard to south of Turnbull Bay Road. You can expect to see new traffic signals and a roundabout in the area. This week, Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver has been showing you super speeders stopped by officers. We just got a new video today of another driver. FHP says he told the trooper who pulled him over he thought he was racing him.
Here's the dash camera video I requested from Florida Highway Patrol. It starts with lights and sirens kicking on as a trooper pulls over this Honda Civic on I-4 in Lake Mary. It's about 2:20 in the morning on July 23rd. You can see the trooper walk up to the passenger side window and listen to this exchange.
I'm going to be real with you. I really thought, it's not an excuse or anything. I thought you were racing. Racing you? All right. You crossed me.
Almost immediately, the trooper then starts walking over to the driver's side. He tells the driver, Logan Mills, to step outside of the car. A few moments later, and his hands are behind his back.
What was the fastest speed? 120. You're going to tell me that I'm lying to you now? No. How fast do you think you were doing? I thought I was doing 90. 90? That's a 20 miles over the speed limit.
Under Florida's new super speeder law, you can be arrested for going 50 plus over the speed limit or over 100. I've been asking FHP for the numbers. They tell me since July 1st, more than 55 drivers have already been booked on those charges across Central Florida. I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
Tomorrow morning, you may be able to start off your Saturday with a rocket launch. SpaceX is taking another batch of satellites for Amazon into orbit. The company wants to launch its own global internet service. The liftoff has been delayed a couple of times so far. The 27-minute launch window at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station opens at 9:18 a.m. If the launch happens, you can watch it live on clickorlando.com and on the News 6 app. Well, now may be a great time to add a dog or a cat to your family. Animal shelters across the country are holding special adoption events, including here in Central Florida. August is Clear the Shelters Month. Orange County Animal Services is lowering adoption fees to just $8 and extending hours to make it easier for people to adopt. Leaders with the shelter say they are struggling with a high number of animals there.
We have a ton of animals. We have almost 400 animals at the shelter. We have puppies, seniors, adult dogs, cats, kittens. On top of that, we have almost 400 animals in foster care who are also looking for homes. Think about it, it's crazy. For $8, you get an animal that's been spayed and neutered, microchipped, has all its initial vaccinations, including rabies, and it's ready to go home.
Again, the adoption fee for today is just $8. The shelter is open until 8 o'clock. Well, are you ready for the school traffic on Monday? There will also be more children using crosswalks. Coming up, what you need to be aware of while yielding to all those walkers and bicyclists.
And if you're hanging out with the family before you head back to school this weekend, you're going to have to do a little dodging in the storm department. Seeing that right now, and likely a repeat performance Saturday into Sunday. We're going to break that part of the forecast down for you at about 4:47.
And before we head to break, we have an all-new primetime schedule on News 6 Plus to tell you about. We have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Go in depth as we track the tropics and answer your weather questions with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. And you can download our streaming app for free. Just search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
It's officially that time of year again, back to school. And while the kids are brushing up on math, it's time for us to brush up on something as well. I'm talking crosswalk safety, but don't worry, there's not going to be a quiz, maybe just a side eye at the end. Let's start with drivers. If someone's in the crosswalk, you stop. Not halfway, not creep and peep, you just stop. And this right here, this line, well, it's not a suggestion. It's basically your parking brake. You need to stop right here. Now, pedestrians, we have some homework to do. Obviously, anytime you want to cross at a marked crosswalk. And the first thing to do is activating that digital sign that's here for you. Walk up to the curb, stop, look left, look right, and always look left again. If there is a car present like there is here, you want to make eye contact with that driver. Maybe if they've got that sandwich in their hand or their eyes buried in their phone, if they're not looking at you, you might want to wait just a little bit before crossing that roadway. When those school zone lights are flashing, it's game time. We're gonna need you to slow down, put the phone down. Kids do not come with turn signals, and they absolutely don't wait for your playlist to change. Crosswalk safety is everyone's job. Walkers, drivers, even parents doing illegal U-turns with one shoe on. But the ultimate goal here is for students to get to class safely. Now, I can't help with algebra, but we can get you there on time. I'm Trooper Steve, your Central Florida's only traffic safety expert.
And don't forget, News 6 is helping teachers start the year strong. We've created a county-by-county gift list with the supplies they need the most. Just scan the QR code on your screen. You can also find the links at clickorlando.com/back-to-school. It is a great way to support our educators together. All right, now we want to switch gears and talk the weather. We have a lot to talk about, including all that activity on the radar right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. It's not raining everywhere, so some might be asking, okay, what storms are you talking about? But there are a lot out there. You see the radar lighting up tonight, especially Marion County. We're on the drier side right now. Our friends in Flagler County, we're on the dry side. Bunnell into Flagler Beach, we're looking good right now. Same in Daytona. Oak Hill, we're on the drier side. You might be hearing some of the thunder out there, though, so that's something to keep in mind, that we do have a storm kind of lifting from southeast to northwest tonight. A lot of lightning just southwest of the Orlando metro. All of this is working to the west. It's likely going to build over the next couple of hours and then fizzle out to at least start the fizzling out process about after 8 o'clock. There we go, 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, right where we are right now. Future radar doing a nice job again, forcing everything back off to the west. That's 8 to 9 o'clock, just a few stray showers west of I-4. Most of the action now pushing to the west. Once we get into tomorrow, this is going to be 8 o'clock in the morning. I think we have a mainly dry morning, and I think we have mainly dry skies through the early part of the afternoon, through about lunchtime, through about noon. And then 1 or 2 o'clock, that's when we start to see things really start to grow in coverage, kind of pinwheeling around a tropical wave that's sliding over to the Gulf side of Florida. There's 8, 9 o'clock on your Saturday night, still likely dealing with a lot of downpours out there. So getting into the weekend, it's not the best weekend to be outside. It's not going to be a total loss. Again, the free News 6 weather app, it'll let you know when lightning is nearby to take things inside for a little bit. So it's not going to be a complete start to finish rain or anything, rain for anything like that. So again, don't be afraid of the 80% chance. That just means you have an 80% to get wet at any point of the day if you're driving around Central Florida hanging out with the family. So we're at 92 on Saturday, 93 degrees on Sunday, as we get ready to send the kids back to school. On to the tropics. I told you earlier that I was going to give you kind of a long-range dive here, and we'll talk much more about this on News 6 Plus at 9:30 if you're interested tonight. 96L, this is the one, the Invest, that got all the play on social media that was going to blow up and be something big. There's one itty-bitty thundercloud out there. So again, just be mindful of what you see over social media through the weekend and into next week. There's likely going to be a lot of these rogue model runs that go a little crazy. These 2 tropical waves are the ones that we are going to watch, though, but I want to be clear about something, that the Atlantic is not that conducive. There's a forcing mechanism to get these tropical waves to roll off of Africa. But the Atlantic isn't that conducive again. Now, we are watching a couple of these waves roll across. This is going to be Saturday, August 16th, and the darker purples here represent where we have that moisture surge coming towards the island. So we're going to watch that carefully as we work forward through the upcoming next 7 to 10 days. Steering currents would have the opportunity to get these things a little bit further to the west. I think we went to the other weather computer, but nonetheless, we'll be watching that closely. We're going to talk much more on the tropics coming up at about 5:47. Lisa.
Jonathan, thank you. And we'd like for you to open your camera. Scan that QR code you see on your screen right now. Click that link because we want to see your weather pictures and videos, and they could end up on TV. You can also go to clickorlando.com/pins and upload your pictures and videos that way. And like we've been telling you, it is the last weekend of summer for most kids. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan has these 6 things to do. That's next. As we take another live look at Mount Dora. It's wet out there tonight. You're watching News 6. We'll be right back.
Coming up on Monday, hundreds of thousands of students heading back for the first day of school.
From new classrooms to new rules, we'll have team coverage from across Central Florida with everything you need to get the new year off to a smooth start.
Plus your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you Monday for News 6 mornings starting at 6.
I'm meteorologist Michelle Morgan here at Florida's tallest lighthouse, Ponce Inlet Lighthouse, that is, where National Lighthouse Day will be celebrated right here on Saturday with special events, of course. Rain is in the forecast this weekend, but don't cancel your plans just yet. I spoke with the Director of Operations, Mike Bennett, about what you can expect.
We'll have workshops, we have some kids crafts, we have at 1 o'clock a historic lecture about the history of the nation's 12 National Historic Landmark lighthouses, which our lighthouse is one of.
The event is from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Looking for another option to beat the heat and rain? In Leesburg, tour the historic Mott Morris House this Saturday from 10 to 2. Also open every second and fourth Saturday through November. Enjoy a day of empowerment and fun at Kissimmee Women's Day, happening at the Bev Event Center, starting at 10 a.m. The free event features chair massages, hairstyling, mini facials, makeup tips, and more. Join the Daytona Beach Cleanup Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Rain or shine, bring water, sunscreen, and your positive energy. Supplies will be provided. This weekend, free kids admission at Central Florida Zoo, all August. Kids get in free with the purchase of an adult ticket. Here's a cool event to enjoy before school starts. Fun Day Sunday at Orlando Speed World. It's a family-friendly day of drag racing, food, drinks, and awesome cars. Doors open at 9 a.m. Bring sunscreen and an umbrella. Have a fun event happening next weekend? Tell me about it. Head over to our News 6 app or clickorlando.com. Just click Contact Us.
News 6 at 5 is up next. Anchor Matt Austin is in the newsroom with what's ahead.
Hey, pick your analogy, the 11th hour, the bottom of the 9th. Either way, summer vacation for kids across Central Florida is almost over. We have team coverage on the other side of this break of some of the issues Central Florida's biggest school district is trying to solve, with kids arriving on Monday. Plus, with every day inching closer to the start of hurricane season, the important cleanout work in one community that's now finished. That's the end of hurricane season, I should say. And no one likes paying up at the pump, but one Central Florida county may be jacking up the price you pay. We'll explain why. Your forecast is only minutes away. Don't forget, you can stream all of our newscasts and live cameras like this beautiful look at Daytona Beach. Our meteorologists are going to have a look at what is ahead for this weekend. Will you be dodging showers, or are we going to be drenched in heat? We'll find out right after the break.
Now at 5, we have team coverage of two major issues facing Central Florida's largest school district and what officials are working to do to address them. Plus,
It hurts everybody.
why you could be forced to pay up more at the pump in one Central Florida county and how much. And later, the power problems we're helping to resolve for people living in one neighborhood. You're watching News 6 at 5.
Well, if you were hoping for a nice weekend for the final days of summer vacation, we have some bad news for you.
Unless you like the rain and the storms, you're taking a live look at a rainy Mount Dora tonight. Meteorologist Jonathan Kakis joins us now. And Jonathan, it's going to be more of this for the next couple of days.
It is. Now, it's not going to be a total loss from start to finish or anything like that, but the radar is going to look a lot like this, where we're doing a little bit of dodging out there. For instance, it's not raining in Palm Coast or Bunnell right now, same in Daytona Beach, but we have a lot of things lighting up the radar. In Lake County, you saw Mount Dora, the sky cam there into Eustis, Umatilla. This is sliding into Leesburg. Also a healthy downpour and thunderstorm over Deer Park and Holopaw. These are slow movers tonight as we continue to track these back to the west, and these will continue to head from east to west. We jumped way over to the Atlantic. A lot of thunderstorms out there as well, but these will continue to slide again from east to west. Same kind of motion again tomorrow, and I think we're going to fill things in on a decent clip. It's all because of this tropical wave here. The dashed line there marks kind of the center. There's not a center, or else it would be a tropical system. So this is just an elongated wave, but it's sending all of that moisture back into Central Florida. We'll time this out for your weekend plans, guys, coming up at about 5:17.
Jonathan, thank you. All eyes will be on the Monday forecast, that is, as students in school districts across Central Florida begin the school year. But as districts look to bring students back to the classroom, we're looking back at issues that leaders highlighted earlier this summer. Orange County Public Schools closed out last year, sounding the alarm.
Our Mark Lehman was there as the district superintendent gave her State of the School address. Turns out they were expecting 3,000 fewer students for the school year beginning Monday. That meant a $27 million drop-off in funding. Mark spoke with school leaders again this morning about those challenges and more with that new school year starting Monday.
Back to school with News 6. Sponsored by Osborne and Francis Law Firm.
Orange County school leaders meeting here at Dr. Phillips High School, where they say they're prepared for a busy start to the school year on Monday. It's happening as the district is celebrating a lot of accomplishments, but is also facing changes and challenges. As today's back to school news conference got underway, OCPS says they're going into a second straight school year listed as an A-rated district. This comes as Orange County is seeing more than 3,000 fewer students this year. A factor in that is families moving to private education through Florida's school voucher program. That enrollment drop has led to a $27 million reduction in funding, which prompted the district to put a 4-year pause on new school construction. OCPS also hired a recruitment firm to try and bring families back to the district. Today, I asked the superintendent for an update on those efforts.
We have some very preliminary numbers that indicate that we have recouped families that had left OCPS. We are going to have actual numbers by the end of the first 2 weeks when we confirm after the 10-day count. But right now, it looks like we've recouped a couple of hundred families to come back.
OCPS is also rolling out a few new communication apps, including one called Safer Watch, which allows school employees to call for a medical emergency or initiate a lockdown by the touch of a button. Of course, safety is the top priority, and with that, drivers are urged to slow down and be alert on Monday as students are heading back to school. In Orange County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
But district leaders aren't just worried about the number of kids in class, but how they're going to get them there. Once again, Orange County Public Schools is trying to get more bus drivers in the door.
The district is facing a 100 driver shortage this year. This time last year, we were there for a job fair after the first week of school as the district tried to recruit more drivers. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez continues our back to school team coverage, showing us what the district is trying this year to find more people to drive buses.
Orange County Public Schools tells me it's down about 100 drivers. That's about the same as last year, but as the district tries to recruit, it's doing what it can to manage with the numbers it has. Right now, the district has about 550 drivers, which is about, again, 100 less than it needs to be fully staffed. One way it has been handling the ongoing shortage is with what it calls double backs. That's when a driver will do 2 runs for the same school to ensure every student who needs a ride gets one. We got to tag along with Evelyn Bell, a veteran bus driver who now trains other drivers. I asked her what she would say to someone considering joining her team.
You definitely have to have patience and heart. It's, it takes a lot of patience and consistency. So, I mean, we offer the training for you, and we can teach you to be a safe driver.
That training is paid and includes about 2 weeks in the classroom before you get behind the wheel of a bus. Starting pay is $17.29, but the district is currently in negotiations with the union to provide more incentives for new hires, like an $8,000 bonus that's paid in increments of $2,000 every quarter, plus other incentives for perfect attendance, safe driving, and helping out by picking up extra routes. In addition to bus drivers, the district is also looking for bus mechanics. We have all of the information about the benefits and how you can apply over at clickorlando.com. Reporting in Orange County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Stephanie, thank you for all of our back-to-school coverage this year. Head to clickorlando.com/back-to-school.
An update now to a story we first brought you as breaking news this time yesterday. News 6 has learned the Hazmat situation in a South Orlando neighborhood may have had to do with a racially charged video that went viral recently. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says crews were called to a suspicious package at a home where a man says he was verbally assaulted because of his race. And Tavis Johnson posted the video showing the moments he was berated and threatened after he knocked on the front door while working with a solar utility company. He says it had more than 13 million views on TikTok before it was taken down. Our Troy Campbell talked with him about the whole ordeal last night.
Would it surprise you if we find out in the end that somebody did look up this address and send them anything? What's your reaction to hearing they have this suspicious package?
With that, yeah, I don't know nothing about it, and then I'm like, wow, like it's crazy.
Troy knocked on the door of the home, but the person who answered said they had nothing to say. Investigators determined the package was safe, but one person was still taken to the hospital, although it is not clear why.
Well, tonight, real relief is finally here for people who live in Winter Springs along the many creeks that run through the city. We've been telling you for years how the city has struggled to pay to try to clean out these creeks. And we followed up in June when the work finally started to remove all the debris in there.
Now coming up on the peak of hurricane season, the work is finally finished. Winter Springs community correspondent Eric Von Anken goes back to see the change and what's next.
The last time I saw you in almost this exact spot about 2 months ago, this is Shore Road, where we saw some of the worst flooding after Hurricane Ian in 2022, when the water flowed over these creeks. The chainsaws had just started up. Well, now the clean out is complete. How much did they do? Well, it goes all the way back through the 5 biggest creeks that run through this city, on both sides of the bank, and most importantly, down the middle so the water can flow. Some 30,000 linear feet. That's about 5.5 miles. These are the before and after pictures the city gave us of 2 of the creeks that were cleared, Shioa and the one we've talked about so much, G Creek, the big one. You can see from the pictures, in some spots, there was no way water could even get through. The 5 creeks are critical during heavy rainstorms, acting as natural canals to carry water through the city and dump it into Lake Jessup. But when they were clogged, that wasn't happening.
What are you finding in the creeks, Matt? And I guess this is a pretty good example, a whole lot of
Yes.
everything, right?
What you're finding is you have just your natural vegetation that's going to grow up. You have your trees that are falling down that grow. And then you have trash.
For years, cash-strapped Winter Springs has tried to find funding to do the clean-out. And after getting a federal grant, this is how the creeks look now.
It's supposed to be the game changer now that we're...
I hope so. I hope so, to make everybody so they're not afraid of, for when the storms do come through.
So now that the junk is clear, the next step is to dig out the sand from the culverts that run underneath most of the bridges throughout the city, digging out the sediment. Spokesperson for the city tells me there's a meeting next week. After that, they expect to get started with that phase of the cleanout. I'm your Winter Springs community correspondent, Eric Von Anken, News 6.
We are keeping an extra close eye on the Diamond in North Carolina tonight.
Yeah, the Lake Mary Little League softball team started their game against the team from the Southwest about an hour ago, and right now the score is tied at 1 in the third inning. The winner of this game goes on to the Little League Softball World Series semifinal. That game will be played tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on the scoreboard for you throughout the evening.
All right, well, at a time when so many of us are trying to save a couple of bucks whenever we can, one county is looking to increase prices at the pump. Next at 5, why officials say the move is needed.
I just find them so cute. I'm honestly speechless.
Plus, the Florida business using some furry friends to help save some animals in need. You're watching News 6 at 5. We'll be right back.
Today's Port Canaveral Cam is sponsored by Launch Credit Union.
Gas prices dropped in Florida last week, with drivers on Monday paying just shy of $3 a gallon on average for regular unleaded. That is about 15 cents cheaper than the week before. But prices could be getting more expensive in one central Florida county.
Leaders in Seminole County are looking into a 5-cent hike to their gas tax, which would make them the 34th county to charge the max amount for gas. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez explains why officials want to raise the price.
If you fuel up here in Seminole County, you're currently spending 7 cents in taxes per gallon, but a trip to the gas station could soon cost you more as county leaders consider raising the gas tax by 5 cents. With gas hovering around $3.15 a gallon, some drivers have learned to live with the cost.
Well, this time around was $35, but it's usually $35 to $40. That's just for half a tank. So it's usually an $80 or $90 fill up if I need to.
While others have tried to find a workaround.
I travel a long way to my job, back and forth, so that's why I got a car that has really good gas mileage.
Now that MPG could get put to the test, with Seminole County considering a 5-cent gas tax increase.
Well, I already think taxes are too high how it is. And, gas is essential to, for everyone getting around. So if we got to pay more in gas, it's just going to hit everyone's pockets harder and cause more economic issues.
I wish they wouldn't do it because it hurts everybody, but it is what it is.
While Seminole could hit 12 cents, its neighbor, Orange County, is still at 6. For those that live near the county line, making a trip could save a few cents, but Nathan Hoover says he'd just have to pay the increase.
I mean, yeah, this is right up the street from my apartment, so it makes it easy just to come here, and it's a great, easiest place to stop on the way to work to get fuel, but, it's hard to go out of my way, too, because of the fuel economy this thing gets.
The tax increase will pay for transportation improvements and mass transit.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. There's definitely some roads around here that could use it.
The board will vote on increasing the gas tax on Tuesday. If it passes, it'll go into effect on January 1st of 2026. Reporting in Seminole County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
All right, let's get a check of that radar with your meteorologist, Jonathan Kagas. There is some stuff hitting our people right now, Jonathan.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. A lot of us are dry, too, so it's kind of that really 50-50 split right now. We'll take you through it. Again, watching in Marion County, where we just have one lone cell now beginning to pop up. I'll turn the loop on for you so you can see exactly where all this is headed, and you can follow these storms alongside me tonight, track these right into your neighborhood by downloading the free News 6 weather app. It's going to come in big time handy to this weekend, because if you get the lightning detection push alert on your app, it's going to allow you to see where those storms are. You can dial up the radar, then move about your afternoon. We have some thunderstorms still around Mount Dora into Umatilla. These are sliding into Leesburg as we speak. The heavier thunderstorms around the Orlando metro area are continuing to fizzle out. We have a storm down by closer to us in Holopod, Deer Park. It's just meandering around us. It's not really moving, but eventually it's going to peter itself out. We're already losing some of the lightning strikes with that. And then again, we had the new storm that's kind of slid down from about Palatka into the Ocala area. It's just northeast of Ocala right now, so an early heads up in about 15 minutes. You may be hearing the thunder already, but we're likely going to be dealing with that downpour. There's 5 to 6 o'clock tonight with those scattered thunderstorms around 7 o'clock, everything trying to push back off towards the west. And then we'll watch things fizzle out, I think, shortly after 7 or 8 o'clock. I think we'll have a mainly dry overnight, unlike what we saw tonight. Earlier this morning, and then once we get into around lunchtime, that's when I think we'll start to bubble up a few more thunderstorms back in the mix. There you go, 2 to 3 o'clock, kind of pinwheeling back in from the south and west, and also the south and east. That axis of that tropical wave that's pretty much over Florida, it's going to move further to the west and help to get us even deeper into that tropical moisture. There's 11 o'clock on your Saturday, still a few downpours, maybe rumble of thunder or two around. Here's a live look, Port Canaveral, Brevard County, with our Launch Credit Union camera this evening. Temperatures back to the lower 80s with the thunderstorm again nearby. The breeze at about 11 miles an hour. Now here's a look at your forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Payne Law.
Temperatures in the 70s and 80s right now. We're back to around 90 degrees tomorrow. It'll be a little cooler again, relatively speaking, because we're going to have the extra clouds around and we're going to be dodging again. When you see the 80% on your News 6 weather app, or when you see it right here on TV, it doesn't mean it's going to rain 80% of the day. It doesn't mean that it's going to be raining 80% of the time or 80% even across Central Florida. It just means when you step outside or move around Central Florida, you have an 80% chance to get wet. So it's not going to be a total loss tomorrow, but the radar likely going to be lit up again because of that tropical moisture surging through, courtesy of the tropical wave, again, that's sliding back into the Gulf. It's going to keep storms around. So again, the News 6 weather app is going to be your friend. Now, what also that wave is doing is helping to increase the rip current risk. Again, with that breeze out of the south and east, it's helping to keep the rip current risk right through the roof. Pay attention to the lifeguards. If you're spending the last weekend before you're heading back to school on the beach, again, red flags are likely going to be flying at the beach. Now, getting you to school on Monday, I think we're going to be on the drier side to start, but then we're going to be watching for those afternoon thunderstorms to come back our way as we're still under the influence of that tropical wave. Tropics, they're fizzling out tonight. As we were talking about last week, again, those development chances are going down. There's 2 waves out there. We're going to talk much more about that at about 5:47. It's all about the rain locally this weekend, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. You can open up your camera app, scan the QR code on your screen right now, click the link. We want to see your weather pictures and videos. They could end up on TV. You could also go to clickorlando.com/pins, upload your pictures and videos that way.
After the break, how a business surrounding some viral animals is helping to rescue other creatures.
Your weekend evening traffic alert. If you've been paying attention, we do have a lot of weather coming through that could slow down construction, but either way, you need to be aware. Even if it's the weekend, we're still going to see some closures. I-4 westbound as you approach the Florida Turnpike, Kirkman area, heavy lane closures and possible shutdown scheduled over the weekend. And then those lane closures northbound I-95 approaching US 192 out in Melbourne. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you Monday morning.
Here's a live look at beautiful Mount Dora. Looking a little wet today. You're watching News 6 at 5. We'll be right back. Taking a live look at our launch credit union, Port Cam at Port Canaveral, home to several Royal Caribbean cruise ships. But one Royal Caribbean ship is getting extra attention this week. So take a look at this video. It was taken moments after a passenger was hurt while riding down a water slide on Icon of the Seas. You can see that water rushing down from a broken panel of that slide. It's called the Frightening Bolt, and it really lived up to its name. Luckily, the passenger did not fall through, but we still don't know if they were injured or what the extent of those injuries would be. A spokesperson for the cruise line says the water slide is closed for the remainder of the voyage, pending an investigation. I bet they didn't even have to close it. Nobody was jumping on that thing. Well, its brand new sister ship will arrive tomorrow at Port Canaveral. The Icon class ship is called Star of the Seas. They both hold the title as the largest cruise ships in the world. Star is expected to start sailing from Port Canaveral on August 31st.
Capybaras, these large rodents native to South America, are a huge hit on social media, so much so that a business opened not too far away centered on these furry fellas.
But as CBS's Manuel Bojorquez explains, it does more than just cash in on a fad. It's protecting other animals.
There aren't many places where you can pair your cup of joe with a capybara. But here at the Capybara Cafe in St. Augustine, Florida,
We're going to be feeding the capybaras.
they are the main attraction.
You take a piece of kale just like this,
Justin Burgess is head supervisor of the animal care team.
and you just put it right there in front of their face. They're very, very gentle about it.
What is a capybara?
Capybara is the world's largest rodent. They are native to South America. Basically, you can think about a guinea pig that got to be 100, 150 pounds.
They have become hugely popular on social media, especially with young people who think they're simply cute.
I just find them like so cute. I'm honestly speechless.
But to learn more about how this place came to be a Capybara Cafe, you have to visit the nearby Noah's Ark Animal Sanctuary, where anything from goats to tortoises who need help are rehabilitated. This sanctuary, however, runs on donations, which all but dried up during the COVID pandemic.
Eventually, it became an idea that we need to come up with something creative to get funding, or we're going to have to shut our doors and leave some of these animals out on the street. They happened to hear about capybara cafes out in like Tokyo, Japan. They thought, well, we could probably do something similar to that.
Our capybaras can also actually bark, similar to how a dog or a prairie dog would.
Enter their 3 big cappies, aptly named Mocha, Latte, and Macchiato. For an entry fee, you can leave the cafe lobby and head into one of these rooms, where people can feed, pet, or just hang out with these laid-back rodents. David and Sam came from Atlanta.
So did you come here on vacation?
We did,
just
specifically
to
for this.
So you're hoping that people's fascination with these animals educates them about the need to protect.
Absolutely. That's the big thing for us, is protecting the animals, conserving wildlife, keeping species out of harm's way.
And keeping at least one species, these humans, very happy.
Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, St. Augustine, Florida.
They are cute.
Yeah, they are.
When you use the term rodent.
They're giant rats, is what they are. But you can also play with them at Gatorland, a little closer for you if you're
very
interested.
nice. Jonathan is continuing to track showers tonight and really all weekend for us. And with so much rain on the roads over the next few days, we're taking a look at some of the things to keep in mind to stay safe.
While storms can knock out power to homes, people living in St. Cloud, a neighborhood there, they say it happens whenever the weather's nice. We're helping to fix the problem after the break.
Glad you're with us. I'm Lisa Bell.
I'm Matt Austin. You're watching News 6 at 5. We're following several top stories for you right now.
Orange County Public School leaders spoke at the annual Back to School conference this morning, highlighting some of the district's accomplishments while also facing challenges. It will be the second straight year rated as an A district. OCPS has also put a 4-year pause on new school construction because enrollment has dropped by 3,000 students this year.
To add to those changes, school districts across Central Florida are dealing with a shortage of bus drivers, about 100 to be exact for OCPS. The district is attempting to address this with current staff, making 2 runs for the same school. New hires get paid for training, and the district is also in negotiations with the union to provide some more incentives for new hires. And after years of struggling to clean their creeks, the city of Winter Springs has finally finished the work. The creeks are critical during heavy rain, acting as a natural canal to carry water through the city and pour it into Lake Jessup. Jonathan Kegas is tracking some storms tonight, in fact.
We have a lot of them tonight, guys, and I think we're going to have a lot of them this weekend. Doesn't mean it's going to be a complete washout, just have to do a little dodging, very similar to what we have today. For instance, we're nice and dry in Palm Coast. I think we're dry for the rest of the evening into Bunnell, Daytona Beach, New Smyrna Beach. Deltona, we have some thunderstorms moving in from the Atlantic right now. A couple of extra showers trying to push through. All these are moving from east to west tonight. We'll take you back into Mount Dora. I've been watching this storm for you, and it's finally lightening up in Mount Dora, Eustis, Umatilla. We're getting the heaviest of this now. It's sliding into Leesburg with some of the light rain. Fruitland Park and the Villages in the next 15 to 20 minutes. That's going to be a little closer to you. Heads up that it is producing some lightning as well. Ocoee, watching this cell for you. No lightning just yet. And one lone strike now just popped up. As I said, that's going to continue to push toward Lake Apopka, eventually move back into Claremont and Mineola tonight. I'll show you the high-res future radar in about 15 minutes to plan the rest of your evening and the start of your weekend at about 5:47.
Jonathan, thank you. And on nights and weekends like this, people in a St. Cloud neighborhood typically run into issues just keeping the lights on.
And that's not all. People in Gramercy Farms neighborhood near Alligator Lake say sometimes the power goes out when the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day. They reached out to St. Cloud community correspondent Laverne McGee about the issue, who helped get some answers today.
We're talking a rolling blackout, like 15 seconds at a time. Everything in your house goes on, everything goes off.
Kenny Boucher works from home, which means having reliable power is essential for his business, Next Level Painting. But lately, he and his neighbors in St. Cloud's Gramercy Farms neighborhood have been dealing with intermittent power outages, rain or shine, day and night.
Everyone was having the same experience. You're sitting there having dinner with your family, power's out, everything's off. Got to turn it back on, AC, everything reset, which is super disruptive.
OUC is the electric provider. The utility told us in part, OUC has noted this issue for the area and is investigating. Momentary outages occur more often in summer due to lightning, storms, or wildlife. If a tree branch or a squirrel contact an above-ground power line, OUC's system automatically senses it and briefly opens the line. These types of momentary outages are an important tool in keeping OUC's electrical system up and running.
Yeah, you know, my power's been going out.
We were there when Kenny got the call from OUC to start the investigation.
That's the most progress I've made with a utility in the history of my life. I'm 43.
We're trying to get results for you.
Thank you, you did.
OUC assured us it will give us an update as soon as it can pinpoint the problem for the folks here dealing with an on-again, off-again situation. In St. Cloud, your Osceola County community correspondent, Laverne McGee, News 6.
This week, Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver has been showing you super speeders stopped by officers across the area.
It's been a big issue there, with a number of arrests happening in the first nearly 6 weeks since that new law took effect. Tonight, Catherine is looking closer at some new video of one driver officials say told the trooper who pulled him over he thought they were racing.
Here's the dash camera video I requested from Florida Highway Patrol. It starts with lights and sirens kicking on as a trooper pulls over this Honda Civic on I-4 in Lake Mary. It's about 2:20 in the morning on July 23rd. You can see the trooper walk up to the passenger side window and listen to this exchange.
I'm gonna be real with you. I really thought, like, it's not an excuse or anything. I thought you were racing. Racing you? All right, you pass me.
Almost immediately, the trooper then starts walking over to the driver's side. He tells the driver, Logan Mills, to step outside of the car. A few moments later, and his hands are behind his back.
What was the fastest speed? 120. You're gonna tell me that I'm lying to you now? No. How fast do you think you were doing? I thought I was doing 90. 90? That's a 30 miles over the speed limit.
Under Florida's new super speeder law, you can be arrested for going 50 plus over the speed limit or over 100. I've been asking FHP for the numbers. They tell me since July 1st, more than 55 drivers have already been booked on those charges across Central Florida. I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
Catherine, thank you. 2 others pulled over in Orange County today under that new super speeder law. Michael Lopez Rodriguez was pulled over yesterday on the Florida Turnpike near I-4. Deputies say he was going 125 on his motorcycle. That was in a 70. And Pedro Muschitz was pulled over yesterday on State Road 528 near Jetport Drive doing 123 in a 65. Both are in jail right now on a $500 bond.
Some sad news on the space front. Famed Apollo astronaut James Lovell has died. He was the commander of Apollo 13 and is credited with turning the failed moon mission into a triumph. Actor Tom Hanks later played him in a movie about the mission. Lovell was also in the first crew to fly around the moon on Apollo 8. James Lovell was 97 years old.
Keeping an eye on space, the hatch has closed on the SpaceX Dragon capsule at the International Space Station. The Crew 10 astronauts set to leave their home away from home at around 6. The astronauts scheduled to undock from the ISS on Wednesday, but it was called off because of high wind in the splashdown zones right off the coast of California. If the undocking happens in the next 30 minutes or so, the crew will then splash down tomorrow at around 11:30 a.m.
Keeping an eye overseas tonight as Israel's move toward a takeover of Gaza City has been met with sharp criticism from countries around the globe and the families of Israeli hostages who worry the move puts their loved ones in greater danger. Correspondent Karen Kafa has the reaction from world leaders.
Video from social media showing a plume of smoke over Gaza City Friday, just hours after Israel's security cabinet signed off on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's plan to take over the enclave. The move criticized by countries around the world. Germany halting military equipment exports to Israel. Egypt and Turkey calling Israel's acts genocide. And Australia warning the move is illegal and will worsen Gaza's humanitarian catastrophe. A crisis underscored by social media video of a balcony collapse Friday after Palestinians rushed to reach airdropped aid. Israel does not allow international journalists to enter the Gaza Strip to report independently. Vice President J.D. Vance in the United Kingdom Friday said the U.S. doesn't intend to recognize a Palestinian state like the U.K., France, and Canada will do soon. But President Donald Trump has other clear goals.
We want to make it so that Hamas can't attack innocent people. We want to solve the humanitarian problems in Gaza.
Meanwhile, families of Israeli hostages held since the Hamas attacks of October 7th, 2023, worry about what's next.
The humanitarian crisis in Gaza with the hunger that is going on there, the suffering of my family as well as 49 other families. We need to put an end to it.
The Palestinian observer to the United Nations said Israel's move is not the way to get the hostages home.
The fastest way to freedom is to stop this war.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Construction is starting today on a new interchange on I-95 in Volusia County. The 74-acre project will create an interchange at Pioneer Trail. That's between Port Orange and New Smyrna Beach. This is what it looks like so far with cones lined up on either side of the road. Right now, Pioneer Trail only has an overpass. FDOT says this new interchange will help ease traffic congestion around Dunlawton and Little Avenues. The project also plans to widen Pioneer Trail to 4 lanes.
New at 5 now, a $1 million investment is giving Apopka firefighters a permanent home. News 6 was there for the grand opening of Fire Station 6 this morning. The 8,000 square foot facility is on Harmon Road in southwest Apopka, an area that's seen a lot of growth and development lately. Station 6 first opened in 2017 and operated out of a temporary location at Advent Health Apopka. The fire chief says this location is perfect.
Our men and women are able to provide not only the services to the community, but this also houses our local EMS warehouse. 90% of all of our transports go to that hospital being in our backyard. With them being able to come around here, collect their supplies, they're able to get back on shift and on duty to the next call immediately.
Station 6 can hold up to 21 firefighters and 3 emergency vehicles. The project used $1 million from the 2021 legislature along with city funds.
It was a rainy morning across much of Central Florida, and water really started to pool on the roads in some spots, so much so that Trooper Steve saw cars start to lose control this morning. With more rain on the way this evening and this weekend, Trooper Steve is going on patrol today to talk about what you need to do if you start to lose control of your car in the water.
So suddenly your vehicle starts to lose it, right? You're like, oh man, I'm in a cloud. What do I do right now? The vehicle's not responding. Well, you want to maintain control of that steering wheel. Keep your tires straight with the car, and if you have to, begin to steer where that car is going. But do not overcorrect. Overcorrecting is going to send you out into the roadway, into travel lanes that you do not want to be in. Then, of course, while maintaining that, we are pumping the brakes. We're not slamming them. We're not panicking and we're not freaking out. Then, once your vehicle begins to regain traction, you're steering in the direction that you want to go, all while not panicking. Think about it. You don't want to make this situation worse. And some people will be like, Steve, well, my car is tripping out. Right. So you don't want to trip out with it. All right. Any type of panic always makes the situation worse. I understand we all can't be ready for stuff like that. We're all not built like that. But we can train ourselves to be like that.
Trooper Steve offered more tips. You can find them in this article at clickorlando.com. Just click on the On Patrol section under the Traffic tab. And you can hit the road with Trooper Steve on patrol weekday mornings at 10, live on the new 6 Plus streaming app for your smart TV or clickorlando.com.
Well, the final countdown is on for summer vacation. Only about 60 hours left until most kids in Central Florida return to class. We parents are really upset about it.
But who's counting?
Hey, after the break, though, we'll take you to the event helping to check off the last few items on the back-to-school list for free.
And later, the big history being made on the Diamond this weekend.
Take a break from those summer reruns. Try out the all-new primetime schedule on News 6 Plus. Ginger and I have a new take on the news on News 6 at 9, or News 6 tonight. Go in-depth as we track the tropics and answer your weather questions with Jonathan Kegas at 9:30. And then watch the late news an hour earlier. That's all tonight on News 6 Plus. You can download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also on Roku, Apple, and Fire. All right, I know this isn't what your kids want to hear. Maybe the parents do want to hear it, though. This is the last weekend of summer break, so you better make the most out of it.
Yeah, and for parents, it's the final opportunity to buy clothes and supplies to set their kids up for success this school year. But as we all know, that can be a little pricey. So News 6's Jarrell Baker shows us how people are turning to items new to them this year.
Dozens of local students like Mika Gonzalez took full advantage of some free clothes during the back-to-school clothes swap on Concord Street in Orlando. What'd you get?
I got some jackets and some really cool shirts for the rest of the summer, but also for school. So yeah, it was really cool.
She and her family also gave several items away during the event hosted by State Rep Anna Escamani to help other families in Orlando save some money on back-to-school shopping.
I'm a mom of 4, so you can imagine that cost adds up very, very quickly. So this was such a great opportunity.
The Florida Retail Federation says that families with kids in kindergarten through 12th grade are expected to spend about $858 on back-to-school clothes and supplies this year. Adelis Bueno says that she could spend up to $500 for her son, Lorenzo.
What are some of the most expensive items that you kind of find?
I think shoes and book bags usually are what run the most. Headphones too, because nowadays the kids need headphones.
For K through 12 families, electronics are the most expensive, with clothing coming in second. Families say that the back-to-school events save them hundreds, even more than thrift stores.
Thrifting has been commercialized so much right now. Pieces used to go, you used to be able to fill up a bag and you'd only pay $5 to $10 for something this large, but now they're charging $5 to $10 for one piece.
A new law passed this year established a back-to-school sales tax holiday for the entire month of August, giving parents and caregivers more flexibility and savings when snapping up essential items for the school year. In Orlando, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
I love that clothing swap.
It's a great idea.
And I love hand-me-downs from my neighbors, too, in case you're listening.
Hand-me-downs are the
Right?
best.
Yes. Jarrell, thank you. News 6 is also helping teachers start the year strong. We've created a county-by-county gift list with the supplies they need the most. Just scan the QR code on your screen or head to clickorlando.com/back-to-school to donate.
Time now to check in with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas. You can see it's pretty active behind him.
It is, yeah. Luckily, this is all going to be working its way to the west, and gradually we're going to be seeing this activity wane a little bit as we move it to the west. We still have a healthy thunderstorm hanging around Scottsmore into Mims, just north of Titusville right now. It's right along the I-95 corridor, so we're heading in that direction. Just be mindful of some heavy rain right on the interstate. And if you are headed out tonight, you can track the storms alongside me. Just download that free News 6 weather app. Again, great radar tools on there and lightning detection. That's important if you have outdoor plans tonight and through the rest of the storm season that we have continuing really for the next couple of months. Scattered thunderstorms continue in Lake County around Leesburg. These are fizzling out. We're losing the lightning strikes. That's a big indication, again, that we are seeing these guys fizzle out. We're getting rid of the thunderstorms around Point Siena and Kissimmee. We have a little bit of extra development right around the Turnpike, around Yeehaw Junction. These are also pushing from the Atlantic west tonight toward I-75, and over the next couple of hours, we are going to watch these thunderstorms fizzle out. So there's 7, 8 o'clock. Future Radar doing a nice job tonight showing, again, that motion. By 9 o'clock, we may hang on to a few thunderstorms here. I think this is overdone here by Future Radar. Nonetheless, I think there will be a few lingering showers close to I-75. Now, tomorrow, I think most of us are waking up on the dry side. Maybe a few extra clouds in the mix, 7 to 8 o'clock for us on your Saturday morning. It's once we get to about lunchtime, right around noon, we're going to be watching for these storms to start popping again and then working their way from south to north. So again, definitely doing some dodging. It's not an all-day rain. Again, having the News 6 weather app will help you be able to jump back inside, jump back outside if you need to. And then by 11 o'clock, we're finally watching things wind down. There could be a few lingering thunderstorms, though, moving into the evening. Again, for your weekend, an 80% shot for thunderstorms both Saturday into Sunday. Doesn't mean it's raining all day. Just means, again, if you're moving about Central Florida, you have an 80% shot to get wet tomorrow. 92 degrees with those thunderstorms again, especially focusing inland. But you saw there up and down the coastline, we are under the gun for those thunderstorms as well. On the tropical front, there are a few waves out there. There's a lot more buzz on social media than there needs to be, I feel like. 96L, that's that Invest again. That's the one that had all the hype and the scary model runs associated with it. That's what's left of it right there, that little bubble right there. It's getting consumed by the Saharan dust that is out there, all that dark brown on your screen. Now, there are 2 waves to watch. in the long term, we're talking 10 plus days away. Steering current wants to get them a little further west. There's a mechanism that is helping to force these tropical waves up over Africa. So that is the one thing that is in the Atlantic's favor right now in producing thunderstorms. However, the basin itself isn't that conducive to supporting them once they develop and roll off of Africa. So moisture surge here and moisture surge here. Those are our two waves. Note the date, Saturday, August 16th. There could be something pushing towards the Caribbean islands. Steering current is a little bit of a concern. You see big chunks of high pressure here that would want to guide something west. You see it there on the model as we move towards the 15th and the 16th. However, again, there's the battle between, okay, is the Atlantic going to be able to support it? Most of the model guidance right now is been bullish, and then nothing has come into fruition because of that Atlantic not being that favorable, at least at this time. Now here's a look at your forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Publix.
It's all about the rain this weekend. Again, not a washout, but we're doing dodging. 80% shot for storms Saturday and Sunday, highs in the low 90s.
Thank you. After the break, the glass ceiling being shattered on the baseball diamond this weekend.
Coming up on Monday, hundreds of thousands of students heading back for the first day of school.
From new classrooms to new rules, we'll have team coverage from across Central Florida with everything you need to get the new year off to a smooth start.
Plus your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you Monday for News 6 Mornings starting at 6.
Some breaking news out of Atlanta, where police are responding to a report of an active shooter on the campus of Emory University. We can see a lot of police officers here. The Associated Press is reporting students and staff were told to run, hide, and fight and avoid the area. Again, breaking story right now. We don't have a lot of information. As soon as we get some more, we're going to update you right here on air and at clickorlando.com. Another quick check of our Little League Lake Mary All-Stars playing in the Little League Softball World Series. The score is still tied. 1-1 in the fifth. The girls playing the team from the Southwest. I'm glad I'm not watching it. It'd be adding to my blood pressure, which is the only team to beat them so far in the World Series tournament. Right now, the score, again, 1-1. If the girls from Lake Mary win, they head to the semifinals, which will be played tomorrow. Good luck, girls. You can do it. All right, well, that's not the only story we're following on the Diamond this weekend.
Yeah, a major barrier is set to be broken in professional baseball. For the first time ever, you will see a woman umpire in a Major League Baseball game. Jen Powell got the call to work the weekend series between the Miami Marlins and the Atlanta Braves, and she'll be behind home plate on Sunday. Experts say this is something baseball fans may be seeing more of on the Diamond.
You have seen now a Major League coaching staff with a woman on it. There was an all-female broadcast team for the Red Sox on Tuesday. Obviously, Kim Eng was the general manager of the Miami Marlins. So the more women you see in all different roles in the game, I think you're just going to start to see more milestones being broken.
Powell became the third woman to umpire a spring training game earlier this year and the first in nearly 20 years. Ginger Gadsden is in the newsroom with what we are working on for News 6 at 6.
Love to see that, Lisa and Matt. Thank you. FWC is set to vote on whether to put on a bear hunt in Florida. We'll tell you when the agency will meet and how the process to get a permit will work. First, though, and a strange new twist to a missing persons case. Why the Brevard County Sheriff is saying the 18-year-old at the center of it was never even in the area. A live look now. This is our beach cam, Daytona Beach. Enjoy that last weekend of freedom, kids. We'll be right back.
Cool.
Man missing for a week, a troubling final text, and a local sheriff setting the record straight.
Some people have asked, why aren't you guys out searching for him? There is no place to search.
Terror at sea. A water slide cracked and gushing water. We'll tell you what happened moments before. And
new dash camera video shows another driver arrested under Florida's new super speeder law. We'll show you the moment this man told the trooper who pulled him over he thought he was racing him.
To breaking news now out of Georgia, where police are responding to an active shooter. This is on the Emory University campus. It's in Atlanta. A live look at that scene as it's happening right now. You see a big police presence there. A post on the school's X page is telling students to run, hide, fight, avoid the area, and shelter in place. We are going to continue to follow this breaking story and bring you the latest information as it comes into our newsroom.
We are tracking thunderstorms tonight. We will watch these fizzle out as they push off to the west, but a lot going on, especially around Four Corners. Most of the lightning heading to your south and west. We have more thunderstorms trying to push on shore closer to New Smyrna Beach and Ponce Inlet. A lot of thunder and lightning around Mims, Scottsmore, just inland of Oak Hill tonight. Palm Coast, Marineland, we're good in Flagler County. A couple of showers working their way through parts of Marion County as well. Ocala, we're looking pretty good, just a few light showers around. It's all because of this tropical wave. It's kind of situated itself right over Florida, and you see all the brighter blues and greens and all the red colors on here. These are the colder cloud tops. Some thunderstorms again out at sea. All of that is going to be working its way through central Florida and really the entire state of Florida over the weekend. It's keeping rain chances high. It's not a total loss by any means. You're going to see higher rain chances. We'll guide you through it. I'll show you the high resolution future radar guys coming up at about 6:17.
Thank you, Jonathan. Mom, help. Family members say that was the last text message from an 18-year-old who has been missing for a week.
Brevard County deputies have had little to say about the search until today when the sheriff clarified his agency's involvement in the case during a press conference. Your Brevard County community correspondent, James Sparvero, was there.
Sheriff Wayne Ivey actually called me before this press conference, and he said he wanted to address the criticism his sheriff's office is facing from some people. Those in Giovanni Pelletier's family who've told me they'd like to see more in a search effort from authorities. What have you heard from the authorities to this point?
We haven't really heard much.
The sheriff says what it all boils down to is it's not their case, it's Charlotte County's.
No evidence, no indication in any capacity that Giovanni Pelletier ever came to Brevard County.
I reached out to Charlotte County this week after my initial story on Monday, and they told me they would not be doing any interviews.
We were reached out for by the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, asked to go interview the 3 young men that were over in their county that had picked Giovanni up. We've also recovered the actual vehicle that was that the boys were driving. There was no evidence of any type of wrongdoing.
Even if there is no foul play, how can someone disappear? Is there any explanation for that in this day and age with technology?
I mean, obviously, you know, there's certainly great concern for this young man's safety, especially as time goes on. To just, you know, not know where he's at this point, hopefully some type of evidence is going to lead us to that point.
Sheriff Ivey also said there was no truth to a rumor that led Giovanni's family and volunteers to search Hammock Road in Mims.
Information started to spread on social media, misinformation, I should say.
If you'd like to watch the sheriff's full press conference, we have all of that for you on clickorlando.com. In Brevard County, I'm your community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
1 weekend, 2 days. It's all that stands between hundreds of thousands of Orange County students and the start of a brand new school year. Classes resume on Monday. Ahead of the first day, Superintendent Maria Vasquez spoke at Dr. Phillips High School. She and other school leaders laid out some of the potential challenges the district will face this year. Some of those challenges include a drop in student enrollment, 3,000 fewer students, which has led to a $27 million reduction in funding. Superintendent Vasquez says they have partnered with a firm to help recruit students, and she appears to be optimistic.
Right now, it looks like we've recouped a couple of hundred families to come back. I hope that the number continues to rise. Part of that is on us telling our story. It's on you and our families sharing all of the great things that are happening in our schools. I do believe we are the top choice when it comes to educating your child, but it also involves all of us listening to what it is our families need and want in their public schools, and then for us to take action on those needs.
OCPS is the largest school district in Central Florida. They are heading back Monday, but it's not the only one. Brevard, Seminole, Volusia, and every other Central Florida county except Sumter start on Monday, August 11th. Sumter County students go back to school on Wednesday, August 13th. ClickOrlando.com/back-to-school can be your hub for all things back to school. Find information about the school supplies tax holiday, get the lowdown on cell phone use in school, and watch the Orange County Superintendent's full back-to-school address. Again, we made all of this easy to find. Just head on over to ClickOrlando.com/back-to-school.
To Volusia County now, where the plan to turn this empty stretch of land into a motocross facility is moving forward. That facility will be 350 acres, or around 260 football fields, enough space for motocross tracks, RV parking, and event space. The county gave the green light this week for the site between I-4 and I-95 on State Road 44. But as your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed explains, the project has major pushback.
Volusia County decided it's going to need help with this motocross park. It's now looking for a partner for this facility off of 44, hoping it'll help with the operational costs.
Everybody is moving this way, and Claremont, Orlando, you have a lot of pros that live out there, and the facilities are here. So we are like a new hub of motocross.
JC Figretto says right now motocross families in Volusia have to drive all over the state to ride or create small parks in their own backyards like he did.
It's much needed, an outdoor recreation sports area like this. A lot of other cities and counties have things like it. There's not a lot where county or government gets involved in that type of business.
While he says it's needed here, he has hesitations about how it's being created. Residents voiced concern to the county council this week about the county buying the land and paying for the project at all. The county council has set aside $3.5 million in ECHO funds for it.
What I am opposed to is a publicly funded motocross track. What it looks like to me is it's a guaranteed liability for taxpayers.
Others also argue this is a major wildlife corridor and worry it could be harmful. Right now, the overall cost and a timeline for the project are not set in stone. The county council decided this week to hire a consultant to find that company for the public-private partnership to run the motocross park.
And this is not like some novel idea that I have. They're already doing this in Polk County. In South Florida, several counties have it. Croom is a state park. Ocala has an area.
Councilman Don Dempsey brought the idea for the motocross park to the table originally.
I don't think it should come out of general funds, but the taxpayers voted over 20 some years ago for ECHO. And ECHO, part of ECHO, the O in ECHO is outdoor recreational activities.
And the consultant is expected to present financial options and partnership models to the council by December. I'm your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
Happening right now, Crew 10's Dragon spacecraft is undocking from the International Space Station. The crew of 4 was supposed to be on their way home yesterday, but weather in the splashdown zones was of a concern. NASA is targeting 11:30 tomorrow morning for splashdown off the coast of California.
But tonight, real relief is finally here for our neighbors who live in Winter Springs, along with the many creeks that run through the city.
Yeah, we've been telling you for years now how the city has struggled to pay to clean out the clogged creeks, and we followed up when the work finally started to remove all that debris. Your Winter Springs community correspondent Eric Von Inken goes back now that the work is finished.
The last time I saw you in almost this exact spot about 2 months ago, this is Shore Road, where we saw some of the worst flooding after Hurricane Ian in 2022, when the water flowed over these creeks. The chainsaws had just started up. Well, now the clean out is complete. How much did they do? Well, it goes all the way back through the 5 biggest creeks that run through this city. on both sides of the bank and, most importantly, down the middle so the water can flow. Some 30,000 linear feet. That's about 5.5 miles.
These are the before and after pictures the city gave us of two of the creeks that were cleared, Shioa and the one we've talked about so much, G Creek, the big one. You can see from the pictures, in some spots, there was no way water could even get through. The 5 creeks are critical during heavy rainstorms, acting as natural canals to carry water through the city and dump it into Lake Jessup. But when they were clogged, that wasn't happening.
What are you finding in the creeks, Matt? And I guess this is a pretty good example, a whole lot of
Yes.
everything, right?
What you're finding is you have just your natural vegetation that's going to grow up. You have your trees that are falling down that grow. And then you have trash.
For years, cash-strapped Winter Springs has tried to find funding to do the clean-out. And after getting a federal grant, this is how the creeks look now.
It's supposed to be the game changer now that we're...
I hope so. I hope so, to make everybody so they're not afraid of, for when the storms do come through.
So now that the junk is clear, the next step is to dig out the sand from the culverts that run underneath most of the bridges throughout the city, digging out the sediment. Spokesperson for the city tells me there's a meeting next week. After that, they expect to get started with that phase of the cleanout. I'm your Winter Springs community correspondent, Eric Von Anken, News 6.
Still ahead on News 6 at 6, it's a nail biter. Lake Mary softball on the diamond.
Jamie Say has an update on where they stand in the Little League World Series. That's coming up in sports. First, though, the tallest drop water slide at sea, cracked and losing water. Ooh. What Royal Caribbean says happened moments before this.
Plus, roads in Central Florida being used as racetracks. What this guy, accused of going 120 miles an hour, told the trooper who pulled him over.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health, helping the communities we serve to feel whole.
Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas is not only famous for being one of the world's largest cruise ships.
It also has the world's tallest drop slide at sea. And yesterday, cameras captured the moments part of that slide broke. And that's when you don't want it to be tall when you're up there on that thing, sending water shooting from the slide and passengers into a panic. Take a look. Listen to the people.
I know.
This is nightmare fuel right here. Royal Caribbean confirmed that part of the slide's acrylic glass broke yesterday as someone was passing through. The cruise line says that whoever that was hurt. We're working to figure out the extent of his or her injuries. The slide is closed for the rest of the sailing. The Icon of the Seas is expected to return to its port in Miami tomorrow as scheduled. But can you imagine, that is very high up if someone had fallen through there, or the person coming after was
I
really...
just hope that person's okay, though.
Hope so, too. By the way, tomorrow, Port Canaveral will officially welcome Royal Caribbean's brand new Star of the Seas. The ship will replace Icon as the world's largest, according to Royal Caribbean's website. Its first sailing showcase cruise is set for August 20th.
Yeah, they both hold about 7,600 passengers. Well, by this time next week, we will know if Florida will host its first bear hunt in a decade. FWC is set to take a final vote when it meets on Wednesday. This comes amid a string of black bear sightings, including this strange one, a viewer captured video of last month on I-4. If approved, the hunt would last nearly 3 weeks in December. According to rules, permit fees would cost $100 for Floridians and $300 for people coming from out of state. It's one bear per hunter. Cubs and mama bears are off limits.
I'm Catherine Silver, Seminole County's community correspondent. This week, we've been showing you videos of super speeders stopped by Florida Highway Patrol. This is new dash camera video I got from FHP. It starts with the lights and sirens kicking on as a trooper pulls over this Honda Civic on I-4 in Lake Mary. It's about 2:20 in the morning on July 23rd. You can see the trooper walk up to the passenger side window and listen to this exchange.
I'm gonna be real with you. I really thought, like, it's not an excuse or anything. I thought you were racing me. Racing you? All right, you passed me.
Almost immediately, the trooper then starts walking over to the driver's side. He tells the driver, Logan Mills, to step outside of the car. A few moments later, and his hands are behind his back.
What's the fastest speed? 120. You're going to tell me that I'm lying to you now? How fast do you think you were doing? I thought I was doing 90. 90? That's a 30 miles over the speed limit.
Under Florida's new super speeder law, you can be arrested for going 50 plus over the speed limit or over 100. I've been asking FHP for the numbers. They tell me since July 1st, more than 55 drivers have already been booked on those charges across Central Florida. I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
Once again, all right, time to talk weather. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegeson here. You have been prepping us all week for what's to come this weekend, so no one should be surprised.
I hope not, but it's not going to be a total loss. I know a lot of people want to get out this weekend, of course, and we all know the kids go back to school, most of them on Monday. We're going to have to just do a little dodging. That's how I'm going to say.
Okay.
So I'm looking optimistically if you're trying to dodge some showers and thunderstorms. We had this weak tropical wave crossing Florida. That's why it's kind of like your atypical storm setup where we're not just, okay, the storm comes up in the afternoon, then it quickly leaves us alone. We have a few of these lingering and then coming back on shore, especially around New Smyrna Beach, Ponce Inlet, Oak Hill. We have some thunder nearby. I've been watching that cell for you. You can track these storms alongside us always by downloading the free News 6 weather app. And if you're heading out this weekend, there's lightning detection for free, of course, and you can get that push alert by setting your location settings. So always good to have that on if you're going to be outside in these summer months in Central Florida. Again, those storms are continuing to push off to the south and west. A lot of heavy rain near Hunters Creek already. More storms just south of Kissimmee. Those are going to leave us alone in Osceola and push into Polk over the next couple of hours. There is that storm we just took a look at closer to New Smyrna Beach. The camera's looking south. The low-hanging jagged clouds out there. Again, we have those storms trying to ride up I-95 and A1A this evening. Temperatures back into the lower 80s. The breeze out of the east-northeast at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. That northeasterly breeze Also going to keep the rip current risk cranked up through the weekend. So here we go, 6, 7 o'clock. Future radar doing a nice job tonight. You see, we'll keep showers and thunderstorms around for the next couple of hours. We'll gradually watch these fizzle out through the rest of your evening. Keep the umbrella handy, though. There's 6 o'clock tomorrow. I do think most of us are dry to wake up tomorrow in and out of clouds. There's 1 o'clock in your afternoon. I think it's lunchtime tomorrow, right around noon to 1. That's when we'll start to fire off a few more thunderstorms, and you see starting around I-95 again, then gradually trying to slide north and then northwest. That's 7 o'clock on your Saturday evening tomorrow, along into the west of I-4 with the occasional stray thunderstorm still hanging back along I-95. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Temperatures tomorrow back to around 90 degrees, a touch cooler again, just like today with the extra cloud cover around at times, and then those storms every now and then working their way from the south and east to northwest up the Florida Peninsula. Rain chances tomorrow at 80%. I mean, it doesn't mean it's a total loss, but nonetheless, we're going to keep on firing off these thunderstorms because of this tropical moisture. You see the deep green over the Florida Peninsula again. That tropical wave lifts to the northeast Gulf, and it yanks in a bunch of Atlantic moisture to help those thunderstorms get going again. The other main thing, if you're heading to the beaches over the next couple of days, rip current risk again high for the remainder of today, and then through the roof tomorrow and Sunday. Just make sure you're paying close attention, swimming to the lifeguard towers and paying attention to the flags. They are likely going to be red throughout the course of the weekend due to some rough surf, especially as we get into Sunday. But really, that rip current risk is going to be on the high side. Temperatures in the low 90s. Again, if you're going to the beach or heading to the park or whatever you're doing this weekend, keep an eye to the sky. Free News 6 weather app. Again, lightning detection. That's critical. Also, for the car line, if you're waiting to pick up the kids, again, we always see it, the lightning. That will give you the heads up, again, not to get out of your car at that point as well. A great tool.
Great point. All right, thank you, Jonathan.
Sports Director Jamie Say is here. Jamie, another must-win for the Lake Mary softball girls.
Yeah, you know, this team has played so well under the pressure of must-wins throughout the whole week, right? An update from their game with Oklahoma is next, I can tell you. It's a nail-biter, all right? And hold on to your Hatters, because there's a new man in charge of Stetson football. We meet the Hats head coach next. Welcome back to News 6. The bigger the stakes, the bigger the reward. The Lake Mary All-Star softball team faced another must-win today at the Little League World Series. If the Seminole County kids beat Tulsa, Oklahoma, they would make Little League softball's version of the semifinals. Now, first pitch today was just after 4. The game and the drama is not over yet. Right now, Lake Mary and Tulsa are tied at 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Oklahoma is batting. Lake Mary scored its run on an RBI single in the 1st inning. Tulsa answered with an RBI single in the 2nd inning. What is going to happen in this one? Well, we'll have full coverage tonight at 11. News 6's Nathaniel Rivas is in Greenville, North Carolina with Lake Mary right now. He's going to have reaction, and he's providing me with updates, too, as they happen. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff of the college football season. Today, News 6 was at Stetson to check in on fall camp. The Hatters are under new management these days. Mike Jasper is entering his first season as head coach, and he's got a lot of work to do. He inherits a Stetson program that went 5-17 the past 2 seasons. But the former offensive lineman says the hunger is there to turn things around.
That was one of the things that was very inspiring to me coming in here in the spring, is just seeing how ready these guys are to turn the page. So it's been extremely awesome to see the hunger that they have.
I mean, honestly, it's one of the reasons why I continue to stay here, and I believe in Coach Jasper. I believe in being a part of something that I built, or that we built together.
In any town, any college, having a great football team is really good for the school and the community, and I just hope that we can turn it around and have a great year this year.
Stetson starts the season on August 30th against Weber International at Spec Martin Stadium in DeLand. Meanwhile, UCF is charging on towards the 2025 season. The Knights scrimmaged for the first time last night, closed to the media, but News 6 was there for Scott Frost's post-game scrimmage thoughts.
2 things I don't know about this team yet is how we're going to respond to success and how we're going to respond to adversity. I think we had to break some habits that certain kids had when things go bad and how they react to it. And we're learning that. And I saw some improvement with that tonight.
The Knights open the season on the 28th against Jacksonville State, a 7 o'clock kick at Acrisure Bounce House. Guys, I've got some sad news for you.
No. They didn't score.
Lake Mary just lost 3-1 to Tulsa. Tulsa hits a 2-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 6th to win it. So Lake Mary softball's run at the World Series is over, but you know, the girls made us proud.
They certainly did. Yeah, they were fighters.
It's farther than any of us have ever made.
That is for sure.
More news coming up at 9 o'clock on clickorlando.com.
We're proud of you girls.
Yeah, good job, ladies.